What is going on, people? It has been a long time. Welcome back. Another episode of Unfiltered coming your way right here, right now. Officially, this will go down as episode number 317 in your scorecard. You can follow Unfiltered and all of the different podcasts at the Believe Network 24/7, 365. It is easy. Apple, Spotify, everywhere you get your podcasts. It is good to have you on board, and it has been too long. Life has gotten in the way of sport, so I apologize. I have been busy. I have not been able to podcast, and things will be sporadic here for probably quite a while. So I have not been able to do them as often as I'd like, and it's been a long time. However, there are certain things that are worth stopping everything that is going on to discuss. And certainly what's going on with the Mets fits in that category in my life. So here we are, because we are living in some sort of an alternate reality. If you're a Met fan right now, as I do this here on a Friday, on the eve of tomorrow, what will be game one of an NLDS between the Mets and the Phillies, take place at Citizens Bank Park. No matter what happens from this point forward, the behavior of this team, what has occurred to get us to this point, and really everything that Met fans are experiencing as a whole right now, is beyond anything that we can understand, because we only understand pain. We only understand heartbreak. We only understand defeat. We don't understand succeeding in the face of failure. We don't understand coming through under pressure when no one expects it. We don't understand our backs against the wall and being resilient time and time and time again, because that is not what happens to this franchise. This franchise punts it, drops it, fumbles it, gives it up, gives it away, loses it, makes a mess of it, makes a mockery of it, makes a joke of everything that you stand for every day you're a fan of the team, in every big spot, in every big way, sans a handful of moments over, in my case, well over 4 decades of being a fan of this baseball team. We're not in that world. As they said in the great movie, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, times, they are a-changing. This, however, has not. We are always presented by our good friends at BetOnline, the world's most trusted betting platform, your number one source for everything football. BetOnline's got every stat, every matchup, every live odd and spread to bet on during all of the games. If you think you know your stuff, get in on the $200,000 mega contest and pick 5 games against the spread every week. Chance to win weekly prizes and a share of $200,000 when the game's over. Head over to our entire casino and get on the online casino. Get in a game of blackjack or poker. Unwind with one of over 150 slot games. Head over to the website today. Get in on the action. It's BetOnline. The game starts here. And I'll start here, because we know it's transpired all season. We know that they started 0-5. We know that the Mets were 11 games under 500 at this point, and they were with no chance to get to the postseason at that point. And what happened with the Lindor meeting and all of the things that led them to being in meaningful September games where it seemed to matter. So let me start by where I was and I sat and had a great view of just a few days ago on Monday. After a rainout Thursday, about 8 days ago now at this point, led me to a doubleheader in which the Mets had a position to win one of 2 games. And I sat there and watched one of the greatest regular season games in the history of this franchise, in a spot that just depicts everything that this team is about and everything that we as Met fans don't understand that we're living through at current. I was talking to a Met fan today, just a couple of hours ago, who I work with, and we were trying to understand and process what has been going on. And to me, that moment and that Lindor home run is a great example of what I can't process, because in that moment, when Albies hit that triple and all those runners started coming around, that was what I was used to. I'm used to you score 6 runs down 3-0. Nobody did jack for 7 innings. All of a sudden, you score 6 runs. Nimmo hits the home run. Pandemonium, dogs and cats living together, and then they take it away from you. That I was used to. The Albies Ozzy chants while I sat there, I was used to. I get it. I watched Kenny Rogers walk Andrew Jones. We've seen the Luis Castillo pop up. We understand about the sex toys in the locker room and everything in between. Mr. Met even given the finger at any chance he could, and someone he couldn't. I got that. I've been there. I understood that. But then Lindor hit the home run, and that I didn't understand. Didn't know how to feel. Honestly, Met fans don't know how to be happy. I remember in 2015, in covering that, complaining for Met fans the entire second half to realize you went from a 500 team to Cespedes and then Daniel Murphy with help from Matt Williams and Drew Storen and all the other things that took place, then getting you to the point where you were all the way in a World Series that, yeah, mistakes were made and you went Terry Collins this, Matt Harvey that, and Lucas Duda this or whatever. But they weren't even supposed to be there, and there was no enjoyment. Met fans didn't take any time to smell roses. They don't smell roses. There haven't been any, just thorns. Thorns, baby, all the time if you're a Met fan. So I didn't get the Lindor thing. I didn't understand that. That, to me, was rare. That, to me, was new. So now I'm sitting in a situation where I'm watching this team in this series against the Brewers, and again, I had that feeling. Where in game 2, when they blew that lead and lost that game, I was like, that's the Mets I know. I get it. I understand this team. When they gave up back-to-back homers after Quintana was brilliant, and it was Buto was the right call to be in there, clearly, and they gave up back-to-back homers on consecutive pitches late in that game, I understood that. That was a feeling I got. Then Lindor walked. And then Nimmo got the hit. And then Pete Alonso, who had failed so many times, forget Pete over the last couple of weeks. And I'll do another pod. I'm not going to sit there at some point and talk about whether he should get paid. And this is not going to be about grand things. This is just my reaction sitting there. And I'm sure a lot of you feeling this way and spewing my thoughts at you on what it's been like to live through this last week. But he's failed a million times in big spots. The entire month of September in the Showalter over 100 wins year, including being terrible in every Braves game during that stretch and against the Padres, where it seemed like every at-bat was pitiful. Forget just this year or the last 2 weeks. When you need them most, those weren't the home runs you were getting. But this isn't the Mets team that we're used to, that we've been getting. So this alternate universe, this alternate reality where, up is down, left is right, all of that, right? We should have known. Because here came Pete Alonso, and he did it. And Howie Rose with the great call. And now you sit there as a Met fan, and I say this, and I mean this, because I'll do a much longer podcast. This is just a snippet after this postseason is over, and we'll do Ohtani and the year he had and a lot of other things, and I will do that and get back in the flow here. I've been busy. But this is a time where we have to be happy and enjoy it. If you're a Met fan, you have to believe. You have to get excited about this alternate universe that we're living in that doesn't seem to make sense. Because right now, everything about the team made sense. All the pitchers who weren't supposed to pitch well, they're all kind of doing their job. Bullpen that's not good enough, yeah, it might be a problem. Diaz not the same, yeah, it might be a problem. But right now, those things on paper that always seem to get you, if you're a Met fan, they're not getting you now because none of the realities that we're used to are reality at current. This team believes in itself, doesn't give a you-know-what about being down, being out, being counted out. They just don't care. And it's not because they're stupid. It's because they're defiant. It's because they represent everything. If you're a Met fan, you want that team, after what you've dealt with this franchise forever, to go and exemplify, and they're doing it for you. So enjoy the hell out of it. Soak it up. Have pregame parties. Get out there and go to the park and get to Citi Field. God, I wish I could be there. And go there for game 3 and hopefully a game 4. Which maybe if they could beat Wheeler in game 1 and get a split in the first couple, maybe we could do this. But now if they're down 2-0 in game one, the ninth inning, if there's 2 outs, I'll believe. And maybe they're setting us up. But you know what? For what? For a year that's been amazing, that's been out of nowhere, that's built, character of a team that will remember forever and enjoyment that will remember forever. Even if they don't win it all, remember where they were and what they weren't expected to do. And enjoy the hell out of this thing. Because take for me, and I've lived this, sports can be the greatest escape in the world if you enjoy and understand what it gives you. So don't worry about the heartbreak that may be coming. Enjoy the ride that you're on. And LFGM. Unfiltered is